Hello, I'm Chef Stephen Khalil.
And I'm Chef Tara Anderson.
We're corporate chefs for Frito-Lay, and we're happy to be here on Shop With Me Mama.
We're here to talk to you today about how to have a summer get-together that's minimal stress, how to prepare in advance, and how to keep things a little organized for your upcoming parties this summer. What I'd like to start with is thinking through the preparation, the shopping, some of the things that may seem a little daunting, but that you could really simplify by being a little bit organized from the beginning.
Right.
So plan it like you would be planning shopping for your wardrobe for the fall. Think about some of the basics that you want to have on hand, and then think about the details that you need to have in order to bring that all together. So if you want to have decorations, what do you have on hand that you can mix in with things that you want to buy? Things like foods that hold up during the heat, having containers of ice, making sure that you have ways to keep things cold. If you want to have beverages, where you want to keep things. So really kind of think through the whole process. Make sure that you have enough of what you want for your party goers, depending on how many people are coming and what their likes and dislikes are. I know
Right.
it can be a little daunting.
Right, and if there's any way to leverage social media to understand what their preferences are, that helps you in
great
advance. But also, don't feel like you have to burden yourself with all the work. There's nothing like a party where people can bring their own creations. So let your guests bring a little something to show a little bit of their foodie side. And then when you're working on your setup, make it simple. Don't make everything from scratch. We've provided a couple recipes for you. One is a ceviche with shrimp, and the other one is what I call sushi ranch. And they go deliciously with Tostitos restaurant-style chips or scoops, and nothing starts a party like Tostitos. But they're simple. I call them five-finger dips because you can count all the ingredients on one hand.
Even a kid could make them.
Yeah, so the ceviche starts with Tostito salsa, and the ranch starts with Lay's smooth ranch dip, and then the other ingredients enhance it and take it in a whole nother area. My favorite, if I can grab this here, is I love going out the flavors of my favorite sushi bar, but I like to experience those in a snack form, and I might be making a dip for Tostitos chips. And the five ingredients, quite simply here for that, are Lay's smooth ranch dip, some wasabi paste, some soy sauce, of course, some pickled ginger that you get at the sushi restaurant, but you mince it up, and some toasted seaweed that's on the outside of your sushi. That gets minced up and all mixed in.
Like you're eating a piece of sushi.
It kind of eats, yeah, absolutely. And you know what else? It goes deliciously as a topping on a piece of grilled fish.
Yep, make a little fish sandwich out of it.
Yep. I love what Tara has created with this wonderful hummus oasis because it's not just a dip, it sort of straddles the dip and the meal. And can be eaten as a meal. Why don't you explain how this is put together?
Great. Well, what we started with is your favorite hummus. And what I like about hummus is it's got that luxurious creaminess to it, but it's also very filling. So we started with a layer of hummus, and then we topped it with a little guacamole. Very fresh summer flavors. And then we have a little crab meat on top of it. It could be grilled shrimp. It could be grilled vegetables, maybe some black beans. It doesn't have to be crab. But then you have the option to serve it with some of these delicious sun chips that actually also pack some whole grains. So you've got a really nice side dish here. The other thing you could do with this, you could take the same idea, take some miniature shot glasses and make them individual, and then you could have little past hors d'oeuvres.
Perfect.
Top them, or even just top them with a chip, and you could make your own individual appetizers instead of having a bowl of something out there.
And I think it's brilliant where Tara is going with miniature, because we're supplying you with a recipe that is a burger with stuffed with gorgonzola cheese and topped with bacon, but we've done it slider style as mini burgers. And that way, it's not a whole meal, but it's a nice little bite. You get all the flavors of your favorite grilled foods, inspired by foods guys love. And foods guys love gets me going, and it makes me think of Ruffles. For instance, I have these Ruffles loaded baked potato skin.
Who doesn't like a loaded baked potato?
But I not only serve them on the side, I like to put them on top to add a little crunch and texture to the burger as well. But again, it's all about that miniature and that grazing. You notice our grilled sliced vegetables allow you not to have to take a whole plate, but just enough for what you want.
Just your favorites.
Yeah, plus you don't have to make it a burger. It could be a veggie sandwich,
Exactly.
chicken sandwich. You can even load it up with hummus and
hummus.
grilled vegetables, right?
Yeah, what I like about this too is that you could take this same idea of the burger and you could fill it with a variety of different things. So you could have your gorgonzola burger, you could have a feta burger, you could have something that has maybe some other vegetables or roasted onions filled in it. So you could have a variety of different kinds of burgers with different kinds of buns, and that could be your excitement. It doesn't have to be, you know, all of these different things, but you could keep it simple to one item that you have a variety of.
Right.
What I usually do that I find works a lot is I have a kind of a breakdown station where I set up. I have a trash can with a table that has like maybe a couple buckets or something in it. So if you're using china, you can obviously, you know, it's easy to keep it all together. Or if you're using plasticware, have your recycling bin here so that everybody kind of sees that it's their responsibility to help you break down. There's nothing worse than having a great party, you're exhausted, and now you have to clean up everything. So give people the visual cues that they need to help themselves.
I'm a big fan of eco-friendly disposable plateware and utensils, and bring a whole box of garbage bags because it's easy to underestimate how much garbage there's going to be afterwards. But one of the things I like to do is I also like to have different colored bags so I can separate my recyclables from the regular trash.
Right.
And if you do that and you make it obvious that container is there for your plates and that container is there for your cans, you'd be surprised. People will take care of it for you.
And the fun thing that we've done that you can do is because you don't have these large portions and because we're using some of these delicious chips as our vessels, you don't necessarily need a plate when you're picking up something like a jalapeno or you're scooping into the dip. You don't necessarily need a plate. That's handheld. So think about foods that are handheld where you don't need as much paper supplies to keep on hand.
And that's it for today. This is Chef Steven.
And this is Chef Tara. Thank you and have a great party-filled, stress-free summer.
And thank you to Shop With Me Mama.